but I will take her away from there. Dreams of a country with no one there.
We're recording.
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy?
Where's the oil can?
Oh, I have a new cocktail that I'm drinking for our podcast. You know how I made that one concoction, the tit on the rocks?
Yeah.
This one here is orange juice and tequila, or I like to call it a cup of overtime.
Nice. Nice.
Can't go wrong with a little OT, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
I was just singing a little of the System of a Down. This episode we're going to be talking about. Uh,
Do we want to talk about it? I saw this funny article that just like makes me smile that I'd rather talk about instead of Epstein. You want me to
what's that
tell you what?
article? What's the article?
So it's from well, I mean it's not the only outlet talking about this, but it's from The Guardian. Um, so this is the first paragraph. In the quest for Olympic gold, professional athletes endure hardships that might seem unfathomable to most of us mere mortals. But do these lengths extend to ski jumpers, injecting their penises with hyaluronic acid
Yep,
in order to fly further?
I heard about that, and my when my wife told me that, I don't know what's going on with that, but you know what my logical thinking was about that?
Mhm.
They're enlarging their penises because you know how when you have a boner, it's up, but if you enlarge your penis, it's like an air pocket balloon. So it's like just basically a balloon. They're ballooning their penises.
Well, the idea behind Penis Gate is that um,
Hey, keep it PG. Hey!
it's that they it's the most PG thing we'll be talking about. No, it's like apparently if your ski suit, because those things are like skin tight.
Yeah.
Apparently if your skin suit is a little looser,
Oh,
you
the
can
air pocket
actually
bubble. Yeah.
yeah, you can actually glide further. So apparently like if you're getting 3D scanned to determine what your suit is going to be for the Olympics, if you make your dick or crotch at least harder, which some alleging that they're using like penis injections to do this, which
Yeah.
I don't know. When I think like actually injecting something down there, it makes me want to do the opposite of what the
Bro.
intention is. But it's either that or like you put some padding down there and it'll throw off the scan and make it
And
seem
then
like you
bubble.
need a bigger suit.
And you get a bubble.
Yeah.
I, I've heard of porn stars doing that before, like a take, they'll like get a needle and stick it in their penis to make it bigger. And there's multiple
Oh.
ways to stick that needle, and some of them require down the shaft.
Oh.
Oh,
Doping in general, a lot of aspects of doping that is just like it kind of
it's
grosses
like
me out,
this is
but
like the Vaseline on the baseball cap for pitchers. It's just like, hey, anything you can do. Of a certain type of gait. Ladies and gentlemen,
a
obviously,
dick,
yeah,
a
exactly.
misused dick.
Yes.
Okay, maybe that's too graphic.
This
Uh,
episode is supposed to be a Star Wars episode of fun conversation, which we're pushing back a week. Sorry, folks. I know I was telling that on the socials we'd be doing talking about Star Wars, but we felt with what the news was like leading up to this Saturday, we
mhm.
needed to kind of have another get our some stuff off our chest moment because this is
We've been talking about wanting to talk about Epstein, like review Epstein for a while, and like there's just been other stuff happening. And this time it's like, oh, now we're doing it, but it's also back in the news again, which
yep.
actually makes me feel good. I was worried that all the Minnesota stuff just made us stop. It's like, oh, no, that's a past news cycle. We're
Oh,
done with Epstein. No, new shit came out, and it's all anyone could talk about again.
yeah, no one can.
We have,
No
yeah.
matter, no, well, you're right. No matter what's happening in Minnesota, no matter what's happening with that U.S. naval armada heading to Iran, it's not going to distract us this time. It's not.
It's kind of like, everybody is kind of having this like, wow, maybe we or my crazy conspiracy theory friend like has more right we realize is like, yeah, rich people really do all know each other and they control so much of the world. They have their hand, they know all sorts of people and have their hands in so many things, and they use their vast amounts of wealth for total evil debauchery.
Yep.
Excuse me, which in Epstein's case, his particular fetish was uh, raping girls, raping underage girls.
And if we're reading also too what the files are going out too, apparently eating them. Literally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. God, and it's so hard to like sort out like 'cause there's some stuff that's like turned out to be like total misinformation, like J.K. Rowling's in the files, but apparently there's no actual proof that she like knew like or was friends with Epstein. It was just simply she was in the files because I think Epstein like emailed her being like, "Hey, can I get tickets to your stage show, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child?" And she's like, "No." It's like, okay, well, she got one thing right. Okay. That's
Sounds like John, well, it's like Jon Stewart. He's just mentioned once, and it was just to be a host for Woody Allen's possible stand-up return.
yeah, it's like people who are it's like that you're starting to formulate the difference between people who are mentioned and people who are like an actual correspondence. Like with the Harry
Yeah.
Potter thing, like Donald Trump is mentioned more in the files that are made public, might I add, the files that we know about so far. The file he is mentioned more times in the files than Harry Potter is mentioned throughout all seven books.
Yeah. I saw a list of like the main character and how many books like really named, and like still Trump is named that much more.
hmm
The thing about it is it's not about people mentioned, like we said, okay, J.K. Rowling and Jon Stewart and a few others. It's more about the names of people who did the shit and know about the shit.
hmm
And then it also goes deeper with like give you an example of mentioned who wasn't on or did stuff involving with Epstein, but did other heinous stuff outside. Epstein referred to Diddy as the competition because Diddy just did a niche competition with what he was doing. It's just it's and I mean it goes further too with like okay, I'll give you a different one. Do you hate microtransactions in video games, Travis?
Yeah. Yes, I
Yeah,
do. I despise them a lot. But
yeah. I kept,
apparently Bobby Kotick, or Kotick or whatever, the CEO of Activision, was in correspondence with Epstein, and Epstein was like, "Yeah, I think you should do this microtransaction thing. That's great."
I got another one for you. Did you take a school picture in elementary school?
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
did.
The people who were running Life Touch.
Oh no.
Yes. No, it's coming out that most likely a lot of our the millennials, their elementary school pictures are yep,
Great.
yeah,
Just great.
yeah.
Wonderful.
And then adding the Bitcoin by basically undermining the American dollar even further, another different varies of currency. Yeah, no, it goes it's sad to say and even scarier to say it goes beyond just fucking girls under 18.
No,
It
it's like
tracks
it's just
everything.
you
It's every
know,
imaginable thing that you can think of that network was warning us about.
yeah, like, on top of that, Epstein was apparently an asset for multiple intelligence agencies from the CIA to Mossad to apparently some speculation he might have been a Russian asset as well.
Oh,
Poland's actually starting an investigation
yeah,
into all of this because of the alleged Russia angle. Um,
basically was a bookie. He wasn't even the big guy. He wasn't even a big fish. He was a bookie apparently. Like that's still going on. Like him being out of the picture means actually jack shit.
yeah, yeah, and I hear about like certain European countries, like, not just Poland, but others. I think France is one of them. Are like opening up full-on investigations now as to like how far this goes. And I don't know if they'll go anywhere, but man, it's a lot more than what our government is doing.
What?
Our government is just this is the sick thing. Our government is just releasing this information into the wild. And yes, some of the stuff is redacted, like and suspiciously redacted, where you're like, I don't think that's a name. Or if it's not a name, I don't think it's a name of a, if it is a name, it's not a name of a victim. I think they're covering up other things. But the stuff that we know, sorry for my dog. He's just hmm. Can you hear him? Can you hear my dog?
Barely. I heard him at the beginning. I know when you turned your head, and I thought you might have heard my kids too at one point.
No, yeah, he's just
Hey, hey, tater tots, just tater tot, man. You know that.
yeah.
But no, no, it's what
But
sucks
it's
about
just like it's just like the sick thing is that they're releasing all this stuff out there and they're doing nothing about it.
no, no, they're
And
not.
they just expect they keep using the line like, well, we think the transparency of information is important to Americans. As I've talked about before. No, it's not that we want to know what was going on out of simple curiosity. We want justice to be done. We want people to be thrown behind bars.
It
Like
gets
everything you're telling us, everything that was being shown is telling us a lot of people need to be put behind bars. And you're not doing that.
it's not even that too, Travis. It's the American lexicon on consent needs to be changed because with these files being released as like a spoon drip morphine crap,
Yeah.
hearing influencers, yeah, mostly on the right, talking about like, hey man, a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old are different. No, it's a kid.
Nope, it's a
It's
kid.
a fucking kid. Just
Mm-mm.
because a 15-year-old might have a double D and some hips and some pubic hair, that does not make her a woman, dude, of legal consent.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, like I mean technically like the whole point of being a legal adult is like you are able to operate on your own. You are legally allowed to operate on your own.
and
And
you can't do
therefore, if you're not able to do that,
it to a
then
child.
if you are of a status of dependency,
A child.
you cannot, yes, like a child. Or there's also certain conservator situations for adults, but mostly for children. You can't like autonomously consent to things.
No. And actually, we've actually seen when that happens when a minor gets the conservatory, like you're saying, like look at Drew Barrymore. It's like, oh God, she was addicted to alcohol at like 14, 9, doing weed. I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr. when he was smoking. But it's like, no, even when a kid becomes, legally their own when they're like 15 or 16 or even 14, it's like, yeah. And we've heard some shitty stories, and they're all pretty bad, unfortunately,
Hmm.
because they're still a child. They're
Yeah.
still a child. That's why 18's 18. Yes, I know there's a conversation you and I and anyone can have about debating what is it 18, 21, or something else. But America has agreed on one thing. 18. We have agreed on 18. We agreed on it so much that when we hear barely legal, it's like
Yeah.
uh, well, how old is she? Did she just have her birthday? Because that gets creepier because you were waiting around like a fucking coyote. That's what Joni Mitchell's song Coyote.
Hmm.
I'm just like, I
Yeah.
mean, fuck. And then the fact that, okay, and I'm gonna call them out, like the main two. I know there's a lot of others, but like Megan Kelly and Nick Fuentes, it's like, no, a 15-year-old is a child. A 16-year
Yeah.
old is a child. And a
I
17,
think now, granted, I think in the case of Fuentes, he's just being contrarian because that's all he's good at. That's what, because like really, you would think with Fuentes, he'd be like, since he's a self-described neo-Nazi, he'd be like, shouting victory, be like, see, we told you them evil Jews, like you think he'd be doing. No, he's just like he doesn't want to be in agreement with anybody. He wants to be a contrarian. But Megyn Kelly, like I think Megyn Kelly's a little bit more nefarious there. Like she's actually like she is doing it to try to adhere to the Trump crowd to try to assuage the MAGA group. Um, it's really gross, and I think about like when I watch old TV shows.
we've talked
There,
about this. We've talked about
we
this. And
talked about this. I don't know how much we talked about this on the show, but like,
no, no, we did on the show about how like
okay, maybe
oh
we
oh
have. Okay,
we had
sometimes
well in passing
our
we
conversations blended together.
yeah.
But like, as soon as you watch old TV shows and like the concept of an older man an adult. Let me rephrase that. An adult man, um, being romantically involved with a teenage girl, is not considered as a serious offense as it is today. Like, there's a few times on like one time I watched the show Hill Street Blues. It's a show from the '80s, and there's a few
Yep.
times where
Oh yeah.
the what was it is it Esterhaus, the original sergeant, the guy, the original character who said let's be careful out there. uh he there was like a funny storyline. Well, it's portrayed as funny, where supposedly he's engaged to like a 17-year-old girl, and that like they're gonna get married shortly after she turns 18, and it's treated as like a haha, that's a little weird, not as like, dude, you're a fucking creep.
Yeah.
Like he's just, oh, that's just, that's just Sarge, lovable Sarge getting into silly things and whatever. And I remember there's like another episode where Hill and Ranko, no, not Hill and Ranko. No, the two plainclothes detectives who were like narco cops. I forget their names, but they were like they were with what's it called? They were doing they did something with teenage girls, like not like did something, but there was the teenage
Yeah.
girls were involved in
Oh.
the plot somehow, and uh one of them is like trying to flirt with one of them, and the other one's like, "Whoa, man, come on, come on, man."
Cool.
Not in like a dude that's fucked up, but like, hey, man, let nah,
Yeah, yeah,
they're too
no, it's
young to, they're too young for you. They're not for you. They're like again, it's treated as like lighthearted and playful,
well,
not like it's fucking creepy that this guy wants to have sex with a 16-year-old.
let's go even closer to like the 90s and early 2000s, for example. Like, okay, two. Dazed and Confused. Matthew McConaughey's famous line.
Yeah,
I love high school girls, man. The older I get, they keep staying the same age. I'm like, oh. And then all the high school, like juniors, seniors, and freshmen are like, this guy's cool. This
yeah.
guy gets it. And I'm like, how old was that redhead? How fucking
Hmm.
old was that redhead? Like, how old's Matthew McConaughey's character? I mean, it's so fucked up that American entertainment, how you were bringing up how it's like treated as like a joke or like ha ha ha. It's like Katherine Heigl, one of her earliest film roles was about her lying that her dad that she was on a vacation trip it was her boyfriend and she's like 14 and this dude's 45.
Hmm.
And it's like her joke of the whole movie as a comedy. And I'm like, how is this
Yeah.
a fucking comedy?
Yeah.
This is a daughter-father comedy, and she's telling this guy that she thinks is cute, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah. It's
Or, and you know what's crazy, just to show how effed up it is? You saw it with me. Boys in the Hood. Ice Cube has a line about the rival gang with the Chicago Bulls beanie. Man, that guy's 25, still fucking around with 17-year-olds. And he wasn't talking about sex, he was talking about gang beef. Like this
yeah.
25-year-old is having gang beef with a couple of 17 and 18-year-olds. Can he go pick on some 30-year-old? It's like, wow, that just says it all.
I mean, at least I feel like in that context, it's treated as like an actual like criticism.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like that says it. Like where
yeah,
you have the gangbanger movie about the hood, and Ice Cube is saying, "Why is this guy messing with high school kids? Go territory beef with someone your own age, man. We're just starting out. We're kids, and you're fucking around with
John Singleton was more thoughtful on the subject
them." That
than,
shows you
like
though,
Richard Linklater.
where certain movies, oh yeah, well, there's certain movies we're saying like an adult's an adult, even at 25. Like you're
Hmm.
17, you're still a kid. That's the point of the law.
Yeah.
And it's like you see this list come out, it makes you look at just not only our politicians, not only our history, but our pulp culture. Like you bringing up with Hill Street Blues,
Hmm.
that 70s show. Yeah, you got everything you can think of involving a young girl with an older guy, even if it's like, well, I'm 18 and she's a freshman. It's like, dude, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
It
And it
makes
makes
you th it, and of course it's like you know, in the context of what was going on with Epstein, they were like literally trafficking girls. They were, they were like bringing, girls in that were like, you know,
Communities.
probably exploited,
Yeah.
homeless, and
There was a
that,
Netflix documentary about it. They were
yeah,
going from the poor part of Florida, most of them.
yes, and it was just like people that no one would probably listen to or care about, and so
Character.
it's different than like it wasn't like, although I did hear like Epstein did like at one point when he was a teacher at the Dalton school, he did kind of prey on the younger students, but he didn't get in trouble for it. It didn't ruin his life. He wasn't forced to go on a sex offender list right then and there. He just kind of failed upwards into like hedge fund shit, which is where he really got his millions.
There's footage of him with some prime ministers of other countries' daughters coming out of
Hmm.
his apartment with him, and they're all like 16, 17,
Yeah.
8, 15. Then basically, none of these girls are even 18, which is sad to say. Like, the
Yeah.
scary part that we're saying is just like they weren't even 18. It's like that's even fucked up to say.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
makes you look at everything now that we've seen in our past, that we've consumed. Like, here's something, the joke about DiCaprio.
Yeah. 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 Oh, they're 20. Yep. She's 25. Moving on.
Yeah, that
Um,
simple joke about that. The joke even about George Clooney and his wife. I mean, I know she was at least I think 22 or 24, but still, even that joke that Brad Pitt would say about like, oh, me and Angelina Jolie will get married when you can legally get married. Ha 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 ha. And it's like, fuck, man. You look at everything that we've consumed, just entertainment wise, history wise, politician wise, everything. You're just like, what the hell's going on here? Where it's not that it is not that hard to say, hey, how old are you? Oh, moving on. Get away. Get the fuck away from me. That's the simple thing, the
mhm.
simplest thing. Because I remember in high school, when I was 18 in dance class, I thought like, oh, hey, maybe it'd be kind of cool to hang out with girls like who are maybe a junior or a senior, because I was 18 as a senior in dance. Dance, you already know where that's going. I get into
Yeah.
class, I'm like, these fucking sophomores, what the fuck?
Well, you were like in beginner dance, right?
No, I was in intermediate one, where all the
Okay.
sophomores were.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like still
But I
you were
was,
with the younger
yeah,
dancers.
and I was like, you know what I did? Oh,
Nope. Mm-mm.
because
Mm-mm.
you know how dancers are dressed. Everyone knows how ballerinas dress, all the stereotypes. Yes, that happened. Kept my eyes forward. Girl said hi to me. Hey, Tom, how was your weekend? It was good. How was yours? Cool. All right, cool. Yep. Nope. Mm-mm. I'm playing it super cautious, super straight. I ain't fucking around here. And I've seen too many news articles.
You were probably like one of the most mature, like,
Well,
if
you
I'm
know
going to be
it's
right, you were probably one of the most mature guys that they ever talked to in high school.
and the thing was, you know what motivated it was? It was a mixture of fear and disgust. Because you've heard news articles of the mistaken bullshit where the guy actually wasn't a piece of shit, the girl lied. You've heard it.
Yeah.
I'm like this, not falling for it. I am not giving an excuse. And then at the same time, because I had two younger cousins who were both female. I'm like this, no, no. And it's not to, and this is not to brag. This is to be how uncomfortable it was. A few of the girls would be like, "Hey, Tom, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing great. I'm not even looking at you because I heard the tone in your voice. You
If
could
you if
fuck
you
off."
couldn't hear it, if you're listening, Tom was shaking his shoulders, implying that
The way
something
girls
else was
shake their
being
chest.
shaken.
The way girls shake their chest.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like this, I'm not falling for it, and you stay the fuck away from me because you're a child. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope.
And that was just a
No,
2-year age difference.
because that's how I treated it. I was 18 and there was 15 and 16-year olds. I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with this crap because this is bullshit. And not in the sense of like, oh, I want out of this class. It's just like, nope, this is the dark side. This is where basically Sith Lords are made because it's
Yeah.
evil. It is. And it's like, and I know in high school it's like, well, sophomore and senior, some of them get together. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? The parents are involved, and it's very rare. And people still look at the guy or girl who's a senior like this.
Yeah.
Really? You couldn't
Yeah.
get a
That
date?
thought crosses your mind like, what?
And it's like, and I get it. Getting flirted with is nice, no matter
It
how pretty a
is.
girl is. But guess what? You still, no matter guy or girl, you have to ask, how old are you? I need to know. And I'm moving away fast still at the same time. Because I heard this one person say, if you have to ask how old the person is, you should still walk away.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
this is what you're seeing here is the point of why and why, even if it's a 2 year difference. For example, these girls who were trafficked, the whole thing that's really evil, the why it's evil is because you're literally stealing innocence.
Yep.
You're not, and it's not like, oh, because the virginity bullshit. Like, no, I'm not talking about the virginity yes
No.
style crap from conservatives. You're taking away a child's innocence by fucking them. And a child cannot
And treating them as,
property, me.
property, like meat. Yeah, like nothing that undeserving, disposable,
Yeah. And
undeserving of dignity and a future.
and even if you have that whole thing where it's okay, if it wasn't trafficked, let's talk about Jerry Seinfeld with his 17-year-old girlfriend at
Yeah.
the time. Like, dude, it's a girl. And you know that they've been pushing this whole thing of underage women. There's no such thing as an underage woman. You're either a
Hmm.
woman or you're a girl. You're either, a piece of shit or you're not. There's this bullshit lawyer dodge crap of they were all underage women. I'm like, no, a 16-year-old girl is a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
A woman is a woman. You know how I know a woman is a woman? Because she's over 18. And
Hmm.
and this whole thing with the list, first of all, it pisses me off that it's being like spoon fed to us. But what pisses me off more is all these fucking influencers finally realizing, oh God, we're never gonna get it released, are we? We never were, you dumbasses.
No, we knew this ahead of time. Like they're gonna censor, and they're not
Everything.
doing it. We know, I also know now, like they're not doing a great job at censoring because they made mistakes. Like the whole, the like the first round of releases, it was it's like, oh, whole documents redacted, but they didn't do it properly to where you can actually just highlight it and then copy
Oh, they
paste
just
it.
they just painted the page black.
It's like, yeah, they didn't have the right software to do it correctly, supposedly
Oh
because
yeah, and people were
Doge
able
cut
to.
it.
No, no, you said it. They had the wrong software, so people at home were able to redirect it themselves.
Yeah, because apparently like Doge cut off everybody's subscription to Adobe. It's like, no, that's why you have that. That's why you spend money on that. Yeah, oh yeah, and then Elon Musk, oh God, he's in the files too. He apparently like begged to go to Little St. James, the island, the private island, and he got rejected. But he's like, I want to go to the pedo island.
You know,
No, no, oh, okay. Um,
I heard a
I,
fucking thing about the island, by the way, as a whole geographically.
mhm.
You know, when you take an aerial shot of the island, you know what it looks like and it represent what it kind of looks like.
Oh,
Hey,
like the one of the Nickelodeon logos.
yep.
I've
Oh,
seen that. I
what I,
think that's got to be a coincidence.
but I'm just saying it makes it worse because we know what happened to Drake Bell, Amanda Bynes, a few others,
Yeah.
and it just shows it's like the thing. What's so hard? And my dad, you know what? My dad actually said this to me in high school once because I don't know about I know we were grade different, and the friends we shared mostly were from drama, our
Hmm.
class of acting. But outside of that, the friends that I didn't have that were friends with yours kind of thing, like a separate group.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but the number of girls and boys, and I said girls and boys because that's what we were in high school, that's what you are, that
Hmm.
ran into, met, became friends with, or had conversations with. I lost track at how many were sexually assaulted in some degree. I lost track. I'm not joking. I've lost track since seventh grade up until now, but I was specifically seventh grade
Like
to.
you knew so many
But they
that.
told me. They told me. They would tell me.
Oh.
I would find out, or find out through information and like, okay, the same way how people, when you hear like Forrest Gump's monologue of like Jenny's dad liked to hug her a lot, it's like, oh,
Hmm.
from seventh grade to senior year of high school, the amount of girls and boys I found out were sexually assaulted in some way. And when I was telling my dad, because he asked me how my day is, and you as a kid, especially if you're a single child, you're just your only person you can vent to is your parents when you're home. You don't have a
Hmm.
sibling. My dad said one time, and he I think he broke the fucking. I mean, and I know it's not that hard to do, but he broke a clothesline hanger because he was hanging up clothes for laundry. He's like, "What's?" And he says, what is so fucking hard for people to understand and wrap their head around that you protect a child? What is so
Hmm.
fucking hard to do where you protect a child? And I'm like this. I'm like, Dad, I don't know, because it's like it just seems like there's this human concept where we can't fathom and wrap our heads around protecting kids at all cost. Because I look at all the people I knew who were molested, raped, assault. I know I'm not using the correct terms right because I've heard like molesting and rape are different, but basically kids who were touched.
Well, all those things.
I've
Yeah,
heard there's a I've heard
I'm
the
sure the amount of people you knew, all those words apply
I've heard there's
collectively.
a legally there's a certain word you use for this, but when it
Sure.
came to kids being touched, it blew my mind how many there were and
Hmm.
how many of them were from adults, not just including, the prom sex, but we know what that really means and like what happened between boyfriend and girlfriends. But it's like how many adults did stuff to kids? It's just it's saddening as a species
Hmm.
and how when you realize how unchecked it goes and how it's almost you can only call it normal because you hear how much it happens where it's like this should not be a thing. This should not be like, okay, best way to put it, Donald Glover, a Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
He was a stand-up comic, right? Like a
Yeah.
really good one of
Hmm.
his specials, he had a joke, and keep in mind this joke brought the house down, like people, the biggest reaction of applause. I forget how it led up, but the joke was it's almost like having your cake and eat it too joke. It's like you can't have a girl who's into anal and who did not get molested as well. It just doesn't happen. And the crowd lost like, oh, he's so right. Girls who are into anal usually got touched. And it's like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. And all you can think of is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because like that's the joke. The joke is if you want a girl to have anal, she's most likely had something happen to her. And it's like, that was from fucking Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
And you listen to the crowd's reaction, you're just like,
Yeah. Yeah. You're kind of like, am I? For me, it's like, am I supposed to be laughing at that?
let me tell you, 400 plus people were fucking laughing their asses off because you laugh at truth.
Hmm.
That's what good stand up is. Sad. Good stand up is you laugh at truth. Bill
Yeah.
Hicks, Richard
That's
Pryor.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the joke of like you're not gonna get a girl who wasn't like who's in, and it's like fuck, because you like what's so hard about protecting a kid? It's not. It shouldn't be this. It shouldn't be this Herculean task of adults just saying kids are off limits. Well,
Hmm.
a sexual crime should just be just it should not exist at all. It just can't exist. But like you're touching kids, and then you hear stories of prison when a child rapist gets thrown in prison. What happens to them? They're dead
Yeah.
within weeks.
Hmm.
And we've talked about in a one episode how that shouldn't be the punishment first off in criminal justice.
Hmm.
But then you see criminals, even criminals take it that seriously, where it's like, hey, what are you in for? Cocaine. What are you in for? Armed robbery. What are you in for? Shot a couple of people. What are you in for? Had sex with a 10-year-old. Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again very fucking slowly. Okay. Have a good night's sleep. And then 10 guys literally torture him to death.
Yeah. There, I think there's just like, well, there's a few things behind this. One, it's and I know you're gonna say like, well, grown women have done this too, but I think I want to say with the grown woman thing, like it has to be like something internalized from this. I think it comes from like the values we teach men or like boys, where it's like you gotta always be ready to do violence. And but at the same time, it's like, you're told contradicting things. If you use violence, you will get in trouble. But also, you have to be ready to use violence because someone could do it to you. Also, you should probably make sure that no one ever does it to you. So it's not just simply defending yourself, it's like, you're preemptively striking.
It's that
Of which you're
warrior.
just like attacking someone. At that point, there's no difference.
It's the
And
warrior in the garden conversation.
yeah,
Warrior in the
and
garden.
and it's just like I think I think it teaches like men, this, you need to have power over others and you need to always exert that. I imagine for people that grow up that get very rich and have those unresolved values in their head, it's like, I mean, because you do have power over lots of people. It's almost like a given that you have power over lots of people because you have lots of money. You can invest that money into things and make things grow. Important people
Mhm.
of business and politics want to talk to you because you have money. I imagine it's like at a certain point, the drive for wanting to have power over others can be
Second
uh,
nature.
unsatiated, and therefore you have to do it somewhere. You have to find other ways to get that drive. And I imagine for Epstein, it was um, the the sex doing sex crimes to girls. It was like I
I,
can do this and I can get away with it
well, when you
because I'm
say get away
rich.
with it, it's the very dark side of fuck you money. Because really, what
Yes.
fuck you money should be like this. What's going on? Who has debt? Here, I got it taken care of.
Hmm.
Oh, my car fell apart. Taken care of. Fuck you money's supposed to be it's taken care of. Oh,
Yeah.
my uncle lost his job. Don't worry, unc. I bought your house for you. You're good. Don't worry about it. Like,
Hmm.
what I mean? That's this is the FU money has gotten dark, where FU money is the law will never touch me. I can do whatever I want. And when we talk about criminals, okay, let's talk about criminals of the past. Uh, During the 20s and 30s, they were robbing banks because the banks were evil and stealing from people, and they were just stealing the bank's money. Yes, they very few of them did the Robin Hood shit, but they were just stealing from banks.
Yeah.
Other criminals were just pushing drugs. And it's like, well, drugs corrupt people. It's like, hey, that's on you for doing the fucking coke when you come down to it. I know myself not to touch hardcore drugs,
Hmm.
but this is this level of fu money is kind of like what I said with Jim Jeffries. There's a level of fame and power you can get to in America where you get to fuck a child.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at because we're seeing it where it's integrated into our economy and our politics.
And
Because
that really needs to be communicated across. Like this is the problem when you this is basically a problem when you don't tax rich people enough. This is you get shit like this. You get people that this is a problem when you just let the ruling class, the wealth class go, you know, you know, get so rich and powerful that the governments are working for them, and you
I
let it
guess
go that long.
no one's really reading Roman history.
Yeah, and I think it's important that people understand this. That I think one thing that I don't, a few things I think people are getting wrong about this. One is I don't think it's so much Epstein. The sensationalism is kind of making it seem like Epstein is like behind everything, like some secret mastermind at the very top of the food chain, when he was just simply a participant at a high level. He was
Yeah.
participating in the systems um, that allowed him the access, the privilege that he had. And there are other Jeffrey Epsteins. I don't know if they're all into molesting little girls at least in the manner that Epstein went about it. But there's a lot of dudes. There are a lot of well, I guess women as well. But there's a lot of other Epstein's that a lot of people like Epstein that can can do that if they wanted to. And if they're not doing that, then they're doing something else that's fucked up, probably, that we don't know about.
It,
And
it
and the
was,
law will not treat them the same way as the law treats you and I. It
well,
just won't.
even more too. It like you said, there's other Epstein's where they're man or woman. It's like okay, it goes even so some. I mean, I guess what would the word be? Simplistic or even personal, where the average the actual attacker of a child, usually someone you know, and the
Hmm.
statistic is it's mostly the dads, the moms of to their own
Yeah.
children, and
Hmm.
the way they keep it quiet is through which is easy to do against a kid, mental manipulation,
Yeah.
a power thing, because and that's what it is. It's like it's
It's just
Epstein.
gonna be our little
Epstein did it.
secret.
Well, yeah, it's a little secret. Epstein did it on a global scale because of the money, the influence, the power, which, fuck you money.
Hmm.
But when you see it done, I mean, we got Megan's Law. How many people do we know who lives within a 10 block, 1 block, 10 block radius, a mile radius? How many people who we've heard it's like, your dad did what to you? Your mom did what to you? Like the story is sadly so commonplace
Yeah.
that it makes you look at, like, for example, you and me, where it's like, is that what it means to sadly be lucky
Yeah.
that a family member of mine didn't take advantage of me as a kid? Even an older cousin or an older sibling? Epstein just did it on a global scale, but this is
Yeah.
a problem itself where you've heard that dads and daughters, moms and sons, older brother. I dated a girl once, and I found out from her, like, her dad, his older brother, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is it this common? I mean, the girl herself, her mom did shit to her and her sister for a decade.
Mhm.
I'm just like, how is
I
this?
would like to think that this like that the experience that you and I had of, or rather, the lack of that experience
Yeah,
that
the
you and I
lack.
had,
Yeah, it's sad to say the lack.
I would like to think that that is, you know, I would like to think that is far more common than dysfunctional families that hurt their children uh, in ways that we describe in others. We just hear about the latter more because that's not supposed to happen. It's like it's not supposed to happen, and therefore we hear about it more because it's taboo, it's shocking, um, and wrong, and in the end, like wrong, same way
It's,
like when you hear about crime, like violent crimes happen, you hear
it's
about them a
wrong. Yeah.
lot because they're wrong and they are shocking to people. Um, Even it may get people scared in an area where crime doesn't happen often, but it's you don't hear about the family that is completely fine. You don't hear about the neighborhood that where nothing happens and is boring. So
You're,
I yeah, but it is disgusting. It's going to be disgusting to see conservative media try to like, now that it's very clear that Trump is like it's hard to like, I mean, we don't have like full 100% proof that maybe could send him to a trial. Arguably we might have some circumstantial evidence, but like, I mean, no one's going to try, so I guess it doesn't matter. But like, you're going to see some conservative pundits attempt to try to justify this or downplay this. I would like to think it's not going to work because I think they are, that cohort is like complicit in like building Epstein as like the great boogeyman, which is probably like, in hindsight, the left probably should have been doing that more. The liberals should have been doing that more. Democrats should have been doing that more, but probably a lot of them are too
they're,
compromised to do that.
they're complicit in this too, because I guarantee you, if ever the list fully gets let out, there will, because we've seen it with some celebrities here, there'll be people on the left going like, "Oh, what? That famous actor of mine is in that list? No, I can't be." It's like, hey, just suck the fucking pill. It's true. You gotta suck. This pill has to be swallowed by everyone, and it's like, this is fucked up. Well, it's been fucked up for a while because guess what? Shirley Temple was like, you can say the first one, and we all ignored that, didn't we?
Mm,
We all ignored the shit that was being done in Hollywood. We all ignored what Woody Allen was doing. We all ignored what Clint Eastwood, I mean, the list goes on, and I've said the list so many times in our
yeah,
episodes, but it's like, it's both the two main parties and the
yeah.
side of the protecting. I mean, look at how Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are handling this. Oh, we'll do it only publicly. It's like, fuck you too. Fuck you at the same time.
I know.
I know a
I
public.
know. It's like, on the one hand, like I do want them, it's like I do want them to testify about this. But what I'm worried about is like, and I would like it to be public. I think that's a good idea, like have it public. What I'm worried about is that I don't know if the Republicans leading that committee are going to ask him the questions that need to be asked since it is public, and
I don't
that's
think
why they wanted to do it private. It's like, yeah, I want, did you, and also I think it would be funny as fuck if Bill Clinton was just like, yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it? Also, I saw Trump doing it too.
oh, Bill Clinton's so old, who gives a shit?
Yeah, like, what are you
That's
going to do to me? You're not going to arrest me. I know you're not.
that's the sad part. The sad part is you're hearing, I've been seeing a lot online, and it makes me think it's like, what justice will be even given? What
Hmm.
justice will be dealt? What will even happen? What will the punishment be? I mean, how many times have we seen in history alone of like a horrendous crime happening, but a person got a few months or a couple of years?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, like, and it doesn't have to be specifically with abusing a child sexually. It's just even just other stuff like crime,
Hmm.
just robbing or battery. And you're just like, the person only got that? What the what? So when you look at this, because it's all involving the 1%, what justice
Hmm.
are we even supposed to even hope for? I'm because me, I know you and I are different on this. I know you're saying Joe. I'm hoping for a public hanging
Yeah.
because I think this just needs to. I think what I feel is whenever justice and punishment we can give through trial, it has to be a trial first, no matter what. You have to do the trial. But whenever whoever is found fully guilty, their punishment, I think, should be a public execution so it scares the shit out of the world, not Americans. This
Yeah.
needs to scare the shit. Because, okay, when you go, because why I say global, like the world for global stuff, what's that, you hear about people like, oh, a few middle-aged men who went to Bangkok for the weekend. Am I right?
Hmm.
Nah, we need to scare the world with this shit. Like, do not, you know what? Fuck you, world. Don't bring it here. Don't bring this into our borders because we will fucking publicly kill you. And it
Yeah.
can't be just the 1%. You gotta go down to the bottom of the barrel, the average Joe too, who did this shit. To me, and what I've seen with the Epstein files this past week, at this point, I want Megan's Law to be liquidated. Anyone on that law, I want them liquidated.
Any like, yeah.
Anyone registered on Megan's Law, I want them liquidated. I want those in prisons liquidated. I want this to scare the human species to its like core of like, you touch a kid,
Hmm.
you are going to die. And I'm not asking for this grotesque, horrible, like we're gonna tear you apart limb from limb, skin you alive. No, just a bullet or a noose.
It's gonna take, and I know this sounds LARPy, like lefty LARPy, but it's gonna take some like real revolutionary movement because to go after this, in the end, it's like it can't just be about the kids. It also has to be about the wealth.
The wealthy,
It
well, the wealth, the
it has to
institution,
be about everything. Like
everything.
you cannot have this much money. You cannot have this much wealth and power while there are people um sleeping in tents on curbsides.
And also too,
You just can't have that.
it also has to restructure our media. No more stories of this bullshit crap even. Not in a
Yeah.
sense of like Law and Order hunting him down, but like, oh, how old are you? Oh, I'm 21 and my girlfriend's 17. It's like, excuse me, what the fuck did you just say to me? Like
Just
those.
yeah, like decorporatize. Well, with the new media, of course, I'm thinking like news. So it's like you really got to decorporatize the news, so that they're not just serving. So we can maybe have like proper news services that could service public interest and not just shareholders,
Mhm.
of which sure Epstein was a shareholder at one of these things.
Mhm.
Um,
And then, but even musicians too. What are your lyrics? Let me read that. No, we're gonna no.
I'm not putting that on my label.
Not, not even putting that. I think if someone creates a song involving, okay, I forget one of the names for two of the songs. I know one of them Beatles. She was just 17, and then there's another band who did, she's just 17. I forget that's the name of that song. But if you have someone who writes this shit, even they should heavily scrutinize, scary questioned. What the fuck's going on in your head? Why are you writing this? Why are you making this up? Why is this even in your head? Talk to me. And I know that's a scary line because that gets into a very fascist authoritarian shit. But it's like, dude, this shouldn't even be fucking sung. Like there shouldn't be songs about this. There shouldn't be stories about this where it's like, oh yeah, there's an age difference. It's like, no, you're just evil. You're just a pedophile.
Mhm.
And it's like the movies from our past. I'm not saying destroy them. I'm saying label them as Matthew McConaughey played a pedophile.
Yeah.
Those
Contains
people,
pedophilic content
those
and
people-
pedophilic content and themes.
yeah, so that '70s show. The entire thing is because of how young Jackie was,
Hmm.
and like casting choices and all that. It's like it's almost has everything has to be block by block down to the molecular level of like we got to change all of this. Like the American lexicon of if there's grass on the field, play ball needs to definitely be like, who the fuck did you just say that? That's not even funny, dude. Who the fuck are you? Like, whoa,
Hmm.
no, 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 no. You need to be talked to by someone legally because this is just like they're kids. They're kids, and we're seeing horrible, and we're still gonna get it. Like, not only were these kids, these girls molested and raped, they probably were fucking eaten
There's supposedly suggestions of some cannibalistic and ritualistic violence going on that
or just
nothing that's been
mutilation.
corroborated, but it's like, if you have that much money, why not? If you think you can get
Yeah.
away with heinous shit already, why not?
Cannibalism, mutilation, trafficking, disposing. I mean, it's like, did anyone not read Less Than Zero, an American Psycho?
I think a lot of people have not read Less Than Zero in American Psycho,
They
actually.
fucking need to because this involves what happens when you
Yeah.
get too bored with money.
Hmm.
Parents
You
need to
know,
do parents need to do their jobs too, and raising, regardless of what your tax bracket is, do a better job at raising your boys and girls of like, you don't do this. This is evil. Stay away.
yeah. Raise your children to like not view relationships as simply power dynamics, but as like
And not
actual relationships,
and also to not
friendships, and yeah.
yeah, well, no power dynamics and not find someone of a certain underageness attractive. Hey, mom, she's kind of cute. Whoa, 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 no, no, she's not. Shut the fuck up. Smack him upside the head.
But
Because I
she's
it
into me, ma.
doesn't matter. Because here's the thing. I know you and I through high school. You see a girl. Oh, she's cute. Wait, hold on. How old is she? Because for example, girls just develop differently. That's just the way of the land.
Everybody develops differently. Yes.
But you need to know that
Hmm.
and make the choice of something's telling me to no, and then you listen to that no.
Yeah. Full disclosure, my wife is 2 years younger than me. And we've been dating since high school, since we were both underage.
Parents were heavily involved.
Our parents
That
were
see the
involved.
difference. See the difference though, and also too, when you met her, you weren't 18 or 19.
No, I wasn't. I was
See,
almost 18, but
you understand,
but
you
not
understand,
18.
do you understand the difference? Like you see
Hmm.
the difference though. I know they know you're saying full disclosure because we're being, this is the podcast. You got to be open with it, but it's like there's the difference though. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old dating. There's a difference between a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old dating. Because an 18-year-old,
Yeah.
you're going to be like,
So
why?
yeah, I think I agree with you. It's important that we need to like fully evaluate like kind of
Talk.
how we raise our in order to like process this like externally, like internally, like it's important for people to like raise their children to have respect for other people and understand that age equals power, um to like and that and all that stuff. I think something but and that's important on a macro level. um we need to again, I'll press this again. It's like we need to understand sort of how the accumulation of capital allows this to happen. The thing that deeply scares me about this um is the potential well, I don't want to say potential, but like I'm sure it's definitely there, like the anti-Semitism that's going to come with this, because between
Uh,
Epstein and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, you have two people who happen to be Jewish, and there's a reason I phrase it that way. Two people who happen to be Jewish, who are they're wealthy. They were extremely wealthy. They had connections to you know dignitaries, politicians, world leaders, um, even intelligence assets. They had influence in those things. They were involved. They orchestrated a conspiracy to abuse lots of children, lots of underage children.
Mhm.
And lastly, in the case of Ghislaine Maxwell, her father owned a lot of publishing companies. That was how he made a lot of his money. And that was probably a lot of the wealth that she inherited. He owned a lot of publishing companies. So you got like
Mhm. Yeah, no,
a
yeah,
Jewish family who happens to have a lot of media control. And you look at those things and you're like, I could see a Nazi looking at all this and thinking, and this confirming their beliefs.
it's not even
And
not even
and
a Nazi, Travis, just the average Joe.
and the average Joe, yeah, seeing this, and
Frustrated.
yeah, the average Joe who does not have the critical thinking capacity to think like, well, these are just people. These are people that just happen to be Jewish. This isn't a you know
Jew thing. This
a
isn't a Jew thing.
scar, a curse upon
Yeah,
all the Jews. No, this is and the important thing to lead to that is like this is some sort of class consciousness to realize no, this is not about what ethnicity or religion they are. This is about capitalism. This is about letting capitalism run amok. This is about letting uh the extremely wealthy and powerful to control the interests of government rather than that of the average people.
yeah.
Um
No, I agree
this
with you.
yeah.
Yeah. No, and also,
Um
because it's just like, and I know you're saying about the capacity for critical thinking, but I think it comes to just the overall people who get frustrated. Because there can be,
mhm,
I guarantee there's a lot of people right now who are just overly frustrated. And they could be intelligent, critical thinking people, but
mhm.
frustration is getting in the way. And that's, what
They
was it?
deserve to be frustrated.
Well,
Absolutely, they
but
deserve to
don't,
be frustrated.
and what you're saying is, and what we are saying is, don't let that control you, though. Hate prolongs violence, violence prolongs hate. It's just two people who happen to be of the
Yeah,
Hebrew faith. That
yeah.
doesn't.
They
It's
these are people. Yeah, like literally, like I mean, we're in a world where we have 2,000 years of these anti-Semitic tropes all around us, and all the hatred against Jewish people, as well as hatred against any other group of people, all that ever does is to reinforce the existing structures
yeah.
that protect the real monsters. And that's all if anyone it's just these past few years, you look at like FBI hate crime statistics, it's like it's not been good
No,
for Jewish people in America and other parts of the world. um
no,
a lot of it motivated by what's happening in Israel, but a lot of it is just an excuse for a lot of it using just any excuse to attack them. The Tree of Life shooting was not really about Israel, it was about immigration. But someone was like, I need to go kill some Jews because I hate immigrants because they were technically involved in some like, you know, pro-immigrant service thing. Um, that, it just, it all, and so it's like, oh God, this is just going to be something else that'll be used. When all that kind of thing will really do is just reinforce the existing structures, existing structures,
yeah.
and people in those institutions will be like, see, all this Epstein hate is just about. If anything, they'll reinforce the anti-Semitic bias. Oh, it's just about hating Jews. It's not about changing the structures of society, or not. It's about not changing the structures of society to be more egalitarian and letting things be more unequal.
Well, it's like I think I said it 10 times by now. Ralphie May said it. It has never been about black versus white. It's been about rich
Rich
versus
versus
poor.
poor.
And always that's the thing. It's always rich versus poor. That's how they keep you distracted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, I opened this episode singing System of a Down song, Hypnotized.
Yeah.
It's a mesmerize the simple-minded propaganda further blinds us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just blinding from the truth. It's never been about like, oh, them black people are stealing babies. Oh, the Mexicans are stealing our jobs. Oh, the white man's just trying to put us down. No, it's rich. It's just rich and poor. It has nothing to do with praying, skin color, or creed, race, color, or creed. It's been about rich and poor, capitalism. It's been about how the rich have gotten richer and richer and richer and richer and richer. And now it's harder for just the average middle class to make a dime.
Yeah.
It's just rich. That's all it has been. It's rich versus poor. Had to take more money than they need for some stupid reason when they can't be like they can't be. And I'm not trying to limit someone building an empire of capital of what the business is, but it's like, please tell me how you're not happy with just 10 million. Please tell me how you're not happy with just this. Please tell me what beast is needing to be fed inside you to keep going and going and going to where Bezos alone is worth how many billions upon billions of hundreds of dollars. And yet we just found out earlier this week how many, what was it, 16,000 Amazon workers got laid off.
Yeah.
And that's not any company where you have this $1 billion billionaire, almost trillionaire person, and it's like you keep laying off people, you keep cutting corners. Hell, we just found out recently, for example, you know all those self-driving cars in San Francisco?
Yep.
You know who the drivers are, right?
They're like people in foreign countries.
Yeah, Filipinos getting
Yeah.
paid pesos on the penny, not even on the dollar anymore. So it's like, no, it's just, ladies and gentlemen, it's always been rich versus poor, and there's nothing wrong with being rich. It's just when content, when you don't know what to be content, it gets evil. That's why I said less than zero in American Psycho. It's like you can be probably a billionaire and not be an evil piece of shit. You can. It's just a choice. You don't need to extract your power over people in this way where you're trafficking underage girls and cutting them apart and possibly eating them or doing other heinous shit because like, whoa, a poor girl from fucking Tallahassee, if you throw her 500 bucks, she'll gobble, suck anything. It's like, no, the fuck is this coming from? Oh, it's because you got super rich and bored. Super,
Yeah.
super fucking bored with being
This
rich.
is this is why you gotta tax the rich, man. This is why you gotta tax the fuck out of them. This is why you can't let people become billionaires.
It's sad too that
Yeah.
it's sad that this is the reason why, because it'd be nice where if like if someone who was a billionaire but it worked out. It'd be nice to have that. It really, I'm not trying to
It
like,
just it,
you know,
I think it just fucks with you. I think it fucks with your brain. Like you cannot
what
I think there's a certain point where you just can't relate to other people the same way because you have enough money like the next person you talk to, you technically have enough money to completely destroy their life. And this is why you can't let people become billionaires. This is why you got to tax the rich. Here's the thing. Here's something to point out. Politicians will, and you'll probably see this type of rhetoric come up in the midterms because the kind of democratic socialist wing of the Democratic Party, we're having a bit of a surgence. We're expected to have a bit of a surge. It's like I said, it's the dream of having a left wing Tea Party for this midterm, like the right wing Tea Party happened in 2010. You're going to hear a lot of stuff about, uh, you know, socialism is bad. Look what happened in Russia. Look what happened in North Korea. No, we should just keep things the same and just add little band-aids here and there. We've heard this from Democrats, some Republicans, not all, for years. We've heard this from mostly liberals or people trying to pander to liberals for years. And you have to ask yourself, how are those reforms going? Where are those reforms you promised us?
Mhm,
That
mhm.
this is this no, just keep things the same. Just do little fixes. How are those going? Oh, they're not because the system just will not let those fixes go through. Okay. Well, what do you expect us to do then? Well, what do you expect us to do? You know? And I'm
Yeah,
not saying like this is like if socialism is not the answer, what is it? Because your answer is not good. It's
no,
not good enough. You've lied to us about it for years. For some reason, the image in my head is Pete Buttigieg. I don't know. I don't know why. Freaking Mayor Pete. I don't know why I'm thinking of him for this. I think I just remembered him being the most smarmy about it when he tried to run
he
for
was.
president.
I
But
know
it's
he
like,
was.
but you fucking people have lied to us about this for years. And what have we gotten in the end? A massive pedophile conspiracy of the extremely wealthy
I mean,
who,
that sadly goes beyond just pedophilia. It's involving entertainment and government and just
yeah,
economic shit.
extreme surveillance technology, like Palantir has Palantir got a Tel Aviv office because he because freaking Epstein talked to Ehud Barak.
Yep.
And Israel is like, is like security industry central. They do surveillance shit on Palestinians as like test subjects, and then they sell that to us. Oh, more cameras on every street corner.
Right. But I'll say this
So yeah. So just think about that as you see these arguments coming up for your ballots throughout the next year.
and think about this too for any law enforcement agency that tackles this case.
Hmm.
Keep in mind this, because it's been fumbled before, because Kash Patel is just failing at his job,
Yeah.
and everyone before him was too. But specifically right now, whoever fumbles the ball on this, keep in mind that the masses will get bloody on the street with this one. They
Hmm.
probably will. This hope me, and I'm not hoping it because I don't. No one wants this, but this could be
Yeah.
the breaking point of American civilization to where they just get so fed up that they head to the streets hard.
We've already seen the American government just openly kill white people on the streets and
Oh, I'm not talking about
thinking,
no, no, but yeah, but here's the thing. That the protesters in Minnesota, thank God, are very reserved because once they shot Alex, there was a lot of people who could have rushed those seven agents and killed them in the street with their bare hands.
hmm,
A pistol still only has a certain amount of rounds.
yeah,
I've seen it in enough.
pistol, a baseball bat.
I'm talking about the ICE agents, what they had. It only has a certain
Yeah,
amount.
yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Let's Hey, how many times have we seen in the movie where the person with the gun points it at the bad guy and they say, "You only got two shots and there's 30 of us." Yeah, well, all two are for you. So what's it gonna be? You
Hmm.
don't want that. And then another person has two more rounds and I'm just saying the two people who died in Minnesota specifically, I know there's been more, but specifically Renee Good and Alex Pretty. There wasn't many ICE officers though when that happened, and there was a lot of more civilians who could have rushed and killed those men with their bare hands. It would have gotten way worse. We saw 20,000 plus Minnesotans take to the streets. Thank God nothing happened. We saw last year 7 million people do the No Kings protest, and thank God nothing happened. This here this gets fumbled, where justice is not dealt with in the right way. I'm not talking swift. I'm not talking punitive. I'm not talking, hammer on the gavel shit. I'm just talking where justice is not handled properly. There are almost 400 million Americans who could possibly go ape shit on not just the government, but each other. And
Hmm.
it's a wide, vast country of land we have where shit will get unmanageable. That's what I'm saying. Whoever, whatever agency deals with it, whatever lawyer, whatever famous, well-known prosecutor handles this case, they fumble the ball. It's gonna get very fucking ugly, I think, because now you have the people who are supporting Trump on YouTube and podcasting going, "What the fuck is going on? What the hell is this? Explain it to me. I'm pissed off." You getting that now? It's fracturing. It's
Yeah,
fracturing everywhere. This is the
could have told you this.
oh you could have
That's
told
my
you
answer. It's like you're
right.
this
And now
the
we're here. But now we're here. And now it's going to get vicious. Now it's going to get ugly. This is the point where it can get very ugly and scary on the streets. Where
Mhm.
it's just open anarchy and chaos. Hell, we've seen all those famous pictures and paintings that are thrown in our face of what Rome looked like when it fell. That's what I mean. I mean, this has to be handled. So it does not, again, like you said in a few episodes in the past, where the people aren't handling it. You do not want civilians handling
You
this.
don't want the mob. Yeah,
No,
it's like yeah, you need I mean, I'll say like just broad. I mean, nobody's like arresting anybody in the Epstein files, but just like
yeah,
broadly
no one has
speaking,
had a single fucking
like
arrest.
I mean, you see, I applaud Larry Krasner, the DA of Philadelphia, who's like, yeah, we're gonna arrest these guys.
Well,
Yeah, we're
hopefully he
gonna
has
arrest these guys that they're committing crimes. We should just do that. No problem.
and do it though.
And
Don't just say it though. Just do it. I'd rather hear less talk and just I'd rather see the action on the news of like, oh, they did it. Cool.
yeah,
You're a plan.
none of this whinging about, please, Mr. Trump, please, think of the people, find the goodness in your heart.
And hey,
Sincerely, Governor Tim Walz.
anyone. It's not, and the thing is, it's not just Trump. It's a lot more people than Trump. I think people are just focused on Trump because he's the president that everyone hates right now, but it's more than him.
Well, yeah, and well, he's the president.
You know, he's the president, but
In the end, he's the president.
it's
He's the
not,
one with the self-interest
it's
here.
not just the president though, who did this shit. It's a
Yeah.
lot of people who are famous and powerful, who are tycoons or are entertainers that we love so much. I mean, okay, I've said it before. We've seen in those pictures. Chris Tucker is in a lot of them with Bill Clinton. And did you know that Rush Hour 4 is getting filmed right now?
Rush Hour 4 is in development. Brett Ratner's going to come back.
I mean, who pushed?
Even though he got fucking Me Too'd back in 2017 and had to flee to fucking Israel to escape possible criminal charges for raping women. But no, he's back now and he just directed Melania's new documentary. And now he's going to be welcome back to Hollywood to make Rush Hour 4.
Yeah, you know who pushed for that though from the start, and no one's counter arguing that, and everyone's actually saying like, yeah, it's true, he pushed for it. Trump. Trump's the one who
Yeah.
pushed. Yeah. So I'm just saying,
And now we know why. He did that as a favor to the guy who made a propaganda film about his wife.
yeah, involving one of the main actors who have a lot of pictures with Bill Clinton and Epstein.
Yep.
So I'm just,
And Ratner has pictures of him with Epstein. There you see ever seen that picture of him like
yeah,
him and Epstein canoodling to two
girl,
females with
girl.
redacted faces, so we don't really know what their age was.
But that's the thing. It's just this
So
last
freaking
batch of
third world.
it is because
Most fucking third world shit ever.
this last batch of files really showed that our pulp culture entertain pop culture entertainment is affected by this. In fact, we thought it was just Weinstein. It's not.
I hope God.
Even the
I
ones
know Chris Tucker is compromised, but yeah, Jackie Chan gets involved with that. You know, if he goes
would
through with that, I mean,
it
yeah,
surprise you though if he was? Would it surprise you at any hell? I'll get okay. Who's the one actor that everyone says is like the quote unquote good guy? You know, remember in good news, Tom Hanks is still a good guy. Would it surprise you if, I mean, I'm not trying to implicate, I'm saying, would it surprise you if Tom Hanks was there some way or another? Nothing. At this point, nothing
mm,
needs to be fully investigated. People who maybe who didn't do it but knew about it and kept quiet. There's those a lot of those famous videos of Denzel Washington leaving the Diddy parties with a shocked look on his face, but he got out of there. It's like this, well, why didn't you contact the authorities, asshole?
yep.
It's all that. It's everyone who kept quiet, everyone who defended, kept quiet, knew about it, didn't say anything, and actually did the horrendous evil. Everything. It's everything top down. That's what's very sad and scary at the same time when you look at everything about American history in the last 30, 40 years. Everything has to be looked at, everything has to be brought to trial. Witnesses, subpoenas, warrants, whatever needs to be done. I hope so, because if nothing's done, that just shows you there really is no justice in the world. Because there's other countries deal with this shit. That's why we don't live there, thank God. Other countries are their age of consent is 14, 15, 16, 9. Here in America, it's supposed to be this way. We have a chance to actually prove everyone wrong and say, we handle our shit. If this does not get handled, that's the no coming back. This is where civilians will get
That's the you know, that ought to be the sort of the last straw of like, okay,
civilization.
we're either doing we're at that point it's like you're either doing revolution or you might as well just cancel this whole democracy thing altogether.
Yep.
Like, nah, you can't vote no more. The oligarchy run things. You will now refer to Jeff Bezos as Lord.
That's the decision
The Baron, the Viscount, you know.
every single American has to ask themselves right now because we're at that we're there we're here now. It's so sad that it's happening. It's so scary, it's sad, it's disheartening, it's angry, it's frustrating. We were supposed to be doing this at this time, we're supposed to be doing that, but we're here now dealing with the sins of our grandfathers in such a way that it's almost unfathomable because it's like fuck, how did it get this bad? Why did it get this bad? How do we let this get this bad? Were we laughing too much? I mean, I swear to God, it makes no sense to me like that we were laughing at all of George Carlin's jokes when very few of them were jokes, and the other ones were saying, "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" That's most of his skit. Yet how many people laugh? Were you laughing with the stuff I sent you in the past?
Mm, George Carlin's kind of hit and miss with me.
But
So,
when he was sending, no, that's what I mean though. When he was sending, when I was sending you,
hmm
going jokes, dude.
yeah.
Very few of his stuff is a joke. That shit was wake the hell up, people. They're eating you. So hopefully, folks, with this episode of us getting stuff off our chest, because we really had to rearrange our February schedule. Next week, don't worry, next week is Star Wars. We just want
hmm
to get this off our chest because we're dealing with a very pivotal moment in American history that people are going to downplay.
Yes, people, yeah, that's another thing. People will try to downplay this.
They're
And
downplaying and they're distracting us. We're recording on a Saturday, the day before the Super Bowl. I don't know who's going to win when this comes out on Tuesday, but I'm just saying our sports are really being used as a distraction right now. Oh, shouldn't you be mad or be happy about who's the halftime show? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit who's performing. I don't give a shit who's at the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn how many medals we win at the Winter Olympics. I don't care about that crap. Care about I will now, this is where Fox News can say it. Care about the soul of this country. Because this is where the soul is. This here now. Not that bullshit with Obama back in '08. This is the soul. This is the humanity. This is what it means to be American. Are you going to, and I know, and this is my stance. Are you going to publicly hang after a trial? You're going to hang these pedophiles so for the world to see, do not do this? Or are you just going to be like this? Yeah, well, so what? I guess Clint Eastwood made out with a 10-year-old in one movie. Who really cares?
well, don't worry. Kamala Harris has just created a Twitter account with 6'7" in the handle. It just rebooted her Kamala HQ. So, she's gonna save us. She gets us. She totally gets us. Thanks for listening to this episode of Give Us the Launch Codes. Um,
Have a serious
it's very
conversation.
rambly. Sorry about that.
Parents listening, have a very serious conversation with your children. Don't let
Hmm.
them don't let them become the list of girls on that island because they were desperate girls in cash. They were all girls from poverty. Very few of them were from elite families, but most of them were girls who were just desperate for money. Who's going to say no to $500 at 15
Yeah.
when you're
And
in a
probably
trailer?
had no loving, and probably didn't have many loving families looking out for
Love,
them.
love your kids, people.
Yeah.
Love your kids. Talk to them. Show them you love them. Show them, teach them what evil is, and teach them and teach them how easy it is to become evil, so they don't.
And teach them that they deserve dignity so that they will not, so that they maybe can better, you know, spot exploitation when it hits
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Teach them propaganda. Listen to some song. Teach them what propaganda is. Don't get distracted.
Mm.
So, from Give Us the Launch Codes, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it was rambly, a little heavy, but this needs to be talked about in every American household right now because this is an American problem that is affecting the world.
Yeah.
And, we're being distracted right now. So, focus on this. Uh, do what you feel like you can do in the sense of writing a congressman, look at the files yourself, try to do what you can with yourself, and hope to God that violence is the last resort of this, and then we'll be all legally handled so no one has to go to the streets. I'm hoping no one has to go to the streets over this, but that's not our history.
Well, you never know. Marx thought that the communist revolution was going to happen in the United States sometime soon, but capitalism just had an interesting way of staving off popular revolt, whether it was through reforms or changes. So who knows if it'll have the, but for all we know, it's too decadent to do that again. But who knows? Give you know, give all other resorts a chance until they can't. Thank you for thank you for being here,
Thank you,
everyone.
folks. You know where we're at: Patreon, YouTube, Instagram,
Mm,
TikTok, platform formerly known as Twitter, Apple Podcast, Spotify, RSS. Thank you for joining us. Don't worry, the next 2 weeks are fun silliness before we get back into the news of the world because a lot is happening, unfortunately, besides this. And enjoy your loved ones. Keep hope. whatever you need to do to hope, whether it's praying, go to church, hanging out with friends, do what you got to do. But this is Give Us the Launch Codes. We love you all. I'm Tom.
I'm Travis.
Do not give up. The night is dark just before the dawn. Dawn is always coming. Hope is kindled.
Bye, everyone.